want this to be dry on the outside. I don't want the candle vase to feel wet at all when I'm cutting it. So the best is when I can just kind of clean it up with my finger, which I did, and then I sign it. Some people have been asking me about what I do at the bottoms. I just sign them and date them. It says Amy 23. Probably can't see that, but that's what it is. So clean this up, because once it's all laced up, I don't really want to touch it. As I say quite often, touch is not clay's love language. Touch it and be done. Okay. So let's see now. Got a real good angle on this. That's my goal here. The best angle possible. Okay, let's go pretty good from here. Let's see. So the first thing I do is I divide the pot into 4. I'm going to just enter and then swoop, 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 and swoop. And then I have that little space there, and I'm just going to make a notch. And that's how a person can tell how to put their candle vase back together. This will eventually lift up, but not now. Okay, so I'm going to make this one hearts. Honey. Making a video. So I have a couple of familiar designs. I definitely have some familiar shapes, but I don't have set designs. So this is kind of like awakens some creativity, and I'm fighting this a little bit. It's a little bit on the hard side. So one thing that you'll notice is that I keep the knife in there until I get back to my original spot. I'm also, one thing that maybe in this video you can't see is that I've got my pinky on the pot as I cut, or if I'm lower down, I'll wind up having my pinky on the banding wheel. I'm also doing my best to relax my body and stay in tune with my breath. And also, just like in baseball, where you have to keep your eye on the ball, that's another great tip for this act right here, is keep my eye on it so I really know where I want to stop. So with this one I'm going to do, I could actually reverse it and cut back to the point. That's like a little more efficient. Ooh, almost swooped right into that other one. So the thing I'm trying to avoid doing is cutting into any other cut, because once I do that, then I have kind of a large patch up job to do. It just takes a lot of time. It can be done, but way, way, way better to avoid it. Well, doodly do, just come in here with some holes, because it's nice to have a variety of shapes. That guy's a little off center, but nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. Actually, the Virgos care. Maybe Virgos are not my customers. What do you think, Neems?
I know they're your lover.
Aww. At least one of them. Yeah. That's a sweet response. What?
Opposites attract.
Yeah. Sometimes same attracts. We're kind of the same. Don't you think we're so similar in a lot of ways?
In some ways, we're same.
What ways?
Singing, making songs.
Oh yeah, we make songs. Let's make one right now.
On the spot, yeah?
Exactly. Make one on the spot.
Doodly-doo.
That's the fallback. Doodly doo, doodly dee. All right, don't make me laugh. I'm cutting candle vases.
You're the one who asked for it.
I know. Nima's the cutest. Hey. He's the sweetest, the cutest, the smartest.
Not the smartest.
One of the smartest. Pretty smart. Highly intelligent. You gotta admit it.
That is true.
Alright. We should go live. I think we're more interesting live. All these things wind up getting edited out and you never hear them. But anyway, we have fun. That's alright. Exactly. That is alright. So I like to reflect the design elements in the bottom part. Maybe you can hear me breathing. It's a little weird having these 3 banding wheels all stacked up on my on my wheel. I've got 4 wheels here. That'd be funny to try to actually do something with that. But I'm just doing it for kind of height and comfort. I actually think I might, what? Virgo?
Ergonomics.
Oh, ergo. I might have to start standing up here because this is not the most comfortable and I'm only on the first one. Actually, no, I've done a bunch, but it's the first one of this moment. And
At this moment.
there goes the song. Anyway,
I'm a burger.
yeah,
This moment, yeah.
I think I'd be more happy standing up cutting these. So that means just relocating over to the wedging table. And now that Nima and I share a studio,
Oh my God.
the wedging table is like prime real estate and also not a place that you can just really like
Park your stuff.
take over. Yeah, neither of us can take over the wedging table very easily.
I think we do a pretty good job, Amy.
So far.
So
but
far, I haven't
so
killed
far.
you.
Look, it will always come back to, I built that wedging table when I was pregnant. Isn't that sweet? I mean, my belly was huge, and I had this bolt driver. I've never once in my life used a bolt driver except for then, but that was like a burly tool.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have it, and I'm gonna let it sit until it dries out. But now, just to do the demo, I'll get one from yesterday that is drying out, and you can see me do it.
It's like a baking tray.
So,
They pull it
yes,
out of the oven.
exactly, except that this one looks completely different. So here I have one from yesterday, and you might be able to see that it's getting white. It's drying out. So the first thing I want to do with this might sound a little counterintuitive, but I squeeze it along the seam, and that is to pop it apart.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a hack. That's a trick. You're welcome. If you decide to copy my design, then you can do that. So now I'm going to pop these out gingerly. So now because it's getting dry,
This could be ASMR
it
at some point.
is vulnerable. Not today. There's, yeah, okay, this is stuck. Oh, there it goes. So I use a variety of tools to do this, and I'm just using the back of this paintbrush just because I happen to have it here in my hand right now.
You're speaking so fast.
But it's not. Am I?
No.
But it's not what I would normally use. So here, another thing that you might be able to see is I'm pushing it, whoopsie, I'm pushing it from the wide part. And that usually will get me a nice clean pop. As opposed to pushing it up, well, obviously my tool doesn't even fit there. But I've learned this over the years. Here, you can see here that there's like a little bit of a sticky part in there. I'm gonna clean that out.
Some sticky stuff?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is minimize my work here. Because I'm a lazy mofo. So here we go, popping them out and hoping that, so if you do it in a certain way, you get less of that, of these things sticking in there that you have to go back and baby. Okay, just a couple more. Just a couple more. So I think that this paintbrush is not the best tool for this, and that I used to have this awesome African porcupine quill. Have you seen my African porcupine quill? I've been looking everywhere for it. I don't know how I lost it, but I'm in the market, maybe on Amazon. Amazon, Africa, different parts of the world. Isn't it weird that we use Amazon, of all places, as the name of our, like, total, huge shopping mall, online shopping mall? Okay, so here we go. Now what I need to do, before this gets too dry, is clean it. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that right now. So the way that I do that is I go to the inside, Now I have to say that Piepenberg raku clay, which is this clay, is very strong. It can take quite a beating. Some other clays might not be as resilient, but this stuff, I mean, you know, to an extent, it's just pretty hardy. So I'm just going to sit this upside down, and I'm going to call that good on the inside for now. I don't actually clean the insides up all that much. Okay, so let's do the other one. I'm going to pop all these shapes out. I probably should save these shapes. Neems, you want some shapes? I always felt like there's something I should do with all those cutout shapes. For now, I'm just going to put the crud. Oh, maybe you can't see this. I'm just cleaning it up with my fingers, and the crud's going back in the splash pan. Ideally, I'd have a bucket here, but it's kind of in your blind spot, so I'm not using it. Okay, so here we go. Now I've got it relatively hand cleaned on the inside. Let's call that hand cleaned. Now I'm going to get a moist sponge and do the seam here. One nice thing about these candle vases for me is that I do throw very thin, and my customers can see that. Like with these candle vases, you can see that how thin the walls are. So if you don't throw thin, it might not be so easy to make these. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. So getting this a little bit wet actually has a function, which is pretty cool. Yeah? I'm in the middle of my video, Neems.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Can we wait for a minute
Yeah,
before? Because I'm talking about important stuff here. So now I'm going to clean up this, and I kind of ride the sponge on the inside and the outside of this seam. I really want this to be nice and clean. I don't want this to be sharp at all, because people touch this part. I don't care if they get cut on the inside. No, I just think that this part is more likely to get touched, so I'm just a little bit more careful. The part where I just kind of cleaned it up with my fingers, yeah, I just think it's less likely to be like fondled. Okay, so check it out. What happens here is I'm going to put this back together, and now I'm going to start wiping down the candle vase. And this is cool because it kind of creates like the slightest seal again between the top and the bottom, which makes the candle vase kind of strong to get between here and bisque. Just clean that. So that's like a really amazing thing, because these things are lacy AF and, you know, very brittle when they're bone dry. So the top and the bottom sticking to each other a little bit, I can always pull it apart. I mean, this is not like slipped and scored by any means, you know, it's just a little bit of water. But it just gives it just enough kind of reconnection that it makes it more stable. So I'm just going to kind of do a little scan of this now. Let's make sure I got most of it. I really don't want to touch this again after this. I want this to be done, and then it's going to dry out, and then it's going to go into the bisque. I do not want to touch that anymore. And that's pretty much it. So this one's done. I'm not going to pick it up by the top, but in a certain way I could. Like it's kind of attached now. So that's kind of neat, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, peace out, people.